Well, the markets of late have made even the most savvy investor a little nervous. Well, today we look at mutual funds that our next guest says will outperform the S&P over the next 7 months. Certified financial planner Vern Hayden is back with us today. Vern specializes in mutual fund investing. He's also author of the book, Getting an Investing Game Plan, Creating It, Working It, and Winning It. Vern, always good to have you on the program.
Thanks, Becky. Good to be here again.
Well, let's talk a little bit about 3 of these funds that you say you feel will outperform the S&P. And I guess you want them to really outperform the S&P because it's in negative territory right now.
Yeah, exactly. And they are outperforming right now, so it's not exactly a miracle if they continue to do that. But for instance, you start with a guy like Ken Hebner, who manages several funds, but the one that we like the most is CGM Focus.
Let's talk a little bit. This is Capital Growth Management Focus Fund for our viewers at home. CGMFX is the symbol on it. Large blend fund. There you see the net assets. Year-to-date return. It's a little negative territory for the first quarter, right?
For the first quarter, as of yesterday, he's zero, dead even.
Okay, we got this on Wednesday.
Yep.
But last year, unbelievable returns.
Yeah, he's up about 80%. That's because Ken can do something a lot of managers can't. He can go short. If you go short and the stock goes down, you make money, as well as long. And then if the stock goes up, you make money. So he's like an artist that can go back and forth between those two extremes and make a lot of money.
Yeah, well, he did. I mean, he picked potash when it comes to agriculture, and he had Nucor steel. I mean, he did. What I thought was interesting about him, he dipped his toe into construction, which a lot of people have been reticent to do. He lost in the first quarter on that with Foster Wheeler. And he also went into a Russian communications company, Vimpel.
Right.
But it's interesting for individual investors to see where these guys are thinking about going.
Yeah, but he shorted Countrywide just before it bombed and made a lot of money on that. And that's what he's so good at. And it isn't just a one-year deal. You go back to when this fund started around 1998, and he did fine in 98, good in 99, and then when the bear market started in 2000, he's up like 50% the first year of the bear market, and he was only down 1 year of the bear market, and that was 2002 and just a little bit, and then came roaring back in 2003. So he's got a consistent record. He knows what he's doing. He's really smart. He picks sectors and either goes negative or positive depending on how he reads it, and he's done it very successfully. Now, occasionally he may not have a winning hand, but I'll take a guy like that. You know, you don't do this alone at home, but you know, to put 10% of a portfolio or whatever in his fund would probably work well over the years.
The next fund that you've chosen, Fairholme, a very different strategy with Fairholme.
Yeah, Berkowitz and his 2 partners manage that fund, and they also have done extremely well. I always look at the bear market years to see how the managers performed. And they again performed extremely well during the bear market. They were positive every year but one, and then they've been extremely positive ever since then. And they're good stock pickers, and they just know what they're doing.
Yeah, so. And they keep 20% in cash. When they see the opportunity, they're not tied up, they jump in.
That's right, and they like to do that, and it's paid off for them.
The next fund, this is one of your favorites, and it's interesting that it is still one of your favorites, is the Wintergreen Fund, David Winter.
That's right, with David Winters. And David, again, is just one of those brilliant stock pickers. He's down about 6% right now this year, but that doesn't bother me any. The S&P is down 7.8, and when you know a manager and you know what they have, you don't worry about whether they're down a little bit. It's like Warren Buffett was down, 20% in 99, and he didn't worry a thing about his investments, and even though the media did a bit. But anyway, David Winters, mentored under Michael Price, a legendary manager over at Mutual Shares, and David knows what he's doing. His first holding is Wynn Resorts, and then he has the Japan Tobacco Company because the Asians smoke like crazy.
Americans are getting away from.
So he's doing well.
Your next play is a gold play. Many people wonder. I mean, gold is so volatile, but this is beyond gold. I guess it goes into treasuries and Swiss francs and silver. Yeah, and that is the Permanent Portfolio Fund.
Yeah, the Permanent Portfolio Fund, which is up about 6% this year, it's a world-class asset allocation fund. It can go anywhere in just about anything. And I like it as a core holding because it can really anchor a portfolio in good times and bad times. I look at a fund like that that'll capture 80% of an up market and probably no more than 20 or 30% of a down market, if that. Might even be positive like it is now. So I look at it as a very good anchor for any portfolio.
All right, and the final fund is the Oppenheimer Fund.
This is where, I'm sorry.
Oh, the gold and special
Yeah,
minerals
right,
fund,
right,
yeah.
right. Now this is where I think people need to think differently about investing in gold and precious metals. Look at it as an insurance policy for your portfolio, not as speculation, not as from a trading standpoint, in and out, but have 5% of a portfolio in a fund like that. And you know, if things really get bad, if our dollar really gets ripped up worse than it is, this is the kind of fund that could help save a portfolio. And so I think it's good for people to do that. But don't go crazy with it. You know, 5% is enough, and if things get really crazy, it could become like 20% of a portfolio.
Okay. All right, Vern, you always have good ideas for us.
Thank you, Becky.
Nice to have you on the program.
Good to be here.
And that's all for this week. We'll see you next week on 12 on the Money. I'm Rebecca Saran.